Call this meeting to order at 5:31 p.m. Stephanie, can you lead us on the Pledge of Allegiance? Trustee De La Rosa, my apologies.
All right. Well, everyone please place their right hand over their heart. Ready? Begin. I pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Mighty, can you give us a roll call, please? Not working? Here, the mics are working.
This one's working.
Yeah, mine is.
President Adonis Galarza Toledo.
Here.
Vice President Jesus Gonzalez. Trustee Jocelyn Vargas. Here. Joey Acuña Jr. Trinidad Arredondo.
Present.
Valerie Garcia.
Present.
Silvia Paz. Student Trustee Stephanie De La Rosa. Thank you.
Recognition 2.1, Dr. Williams.
Board President, thank you for letting us give a recognition tonight. It's a very exciting time. I recognize our sport. I recognize all four high schools tonight. So first, we're going to start off with Coach Cevalada from Desert Mirage High School. Girls Red. Thank you for that. County ladies championships. That's pretty much it. Any you were amazing. Oh. Yareli Macias, my 106-pounder. Leslie Rodriguez, my 111-pounder. And we have several runner-ups, just not first place. Okay, next up we have from Coachella Valley High School, we have the girls basketball team. So let's call up Coach Silva and Coach Badagan.
Good evening, good evening. Thank you guys for having me again. I hope I'm getting familiar here. I'm Jason Castillo, athletic director, Coachella Valley High School. I just wanted to say something about my coaches, Coach Shante and Coach Silva. They practice every night along with these girls from like 5 to 8 o'clock at night. going doing drills, running. They look tired at the end of it. But every day they're there, they show up and they never quit. And that's something that we hope that, and it's comes from the coaches, coaches down, and they instill that in them and they never give up. These young ladies made it all the way to the quarterfinals this year. To get to that quarterfinal game was an amazing game. Before that, they were down by 25 and they came back in the third and fourth quarter. Had some key free throws from Karina. Okay, but it was just a team effort all the way around. I'm very proud of these girls. That's why I chose them to be recognized today. They exemplify what sportsmanship and hard work can do for a program. So I'm very proud of them. So girls, coaches, come on up. Coach. Yes. Thanks. Say all the names. Oh, the names. Because I have all the nicknames. I don't have the names.
First up is Irene. Esperanza. Arlene. Mariah. Arlette. Yas. Karime. Paulina. Alana. And Ariana.
Thank you guys for your time.
All right, congratulations, ladies. Next up, we have a very great honor. West Shores High School, and the coach will talk a little bit about that. So let's introduce Coach Ramos, West Shores High School.
And my name is Coach Ramos from West Shores High School. For the season, we had a new team, had 2 returning players, so it was a brand new team. They worked really hard this season, and so forth. At the end of the season, they won 3 of their last 4 games. So, and we have the whole team returning for next year. So, very positive outlook for next year. And as hard as they work, all the court, we're practicing the games. They work just as hard as in the classroom. So that's what we're here to recognize them. They're recognized as a team as part of the CIF San Diego section all academic team. And we have Maria Contreras was also selected as the Mission Fed CIF San Diego section winner captain of the year. We also have Alexandra Gutierrez here, CIF San Diego section scholar athlete team captain. Our names are going up. Alexandra Gutierrez, Joanna Cabrera, Anastasia Garth, and we have Abby Torres. Right. Yes. Introducing you, or are you going to talk? So same sort of system. Just quick. Fun they have. Congratulations, West Shores High School. All right, with those Wildcats.
So again, honoring our 4 high schools. Now we have La Familia, the league champions, co-ed softball. We'll have Coach Gerhard come on up and talk about the team.
Welcome, everybody, all board members, parents, great. Want to just thank Mr. Mickelson here for the support. We had a fabulous season. There's one thing we did do. We could hit the ball. We could hit the ball. So I'm going to introduce right now, sorry, Corona, our shortstop, left fielder, batted .533. Suhaili Perez, our first baseman, outfielder, batted .375 and has a GPA of 3. Third, Rosamor Ramirez, outfielder, catcher, batted .364. Fabian Corona, first baseman, batted .350 and has a .350 GPA.
Awesome. Thank you for the recognition. Great job, athletes. Keep up the good work. Yep.
I don't do anything, man. This is like the third one I get. I promise to do it. Like the way you handed that to me, that was cute.
Yes, yes. It's okay. At this time, we'll enter into closed session public comments. This is the time for members of the public to address the board on issues on the on closed session. Please be aware that we are limited 3 comments, 3 minutes per comment, 20 minutes per subject matter. The board is not always at liberty of answering or taking any actions on items not listed on the adopted agenda. Do we have any public comments for closed session?
Yes, I have one that was submitted electronically.
Please read it out.
Okay. Daniela Rojas regarding LCAP draft and school climate. Good evening, members of the board and superintendent, Dr. Valentino. My name is Daniela Rojas with Alianza Coachella Valley. I'd like to applaud the efforts of the district team in engaging the community when drafting the LCAP updates. That being said, upon reviewing the draft, there is no clear intention for reshaping school climate or utilizing restorative practices to support district staff and students. In the past few months, Alianza was asked for feedback regarding the LCAP along with other community members. We proposed hiring school climate coordinators for every high school to lead restorative justice implementation and lead the multi-tier system model. The MTSS model has not been working because it is not being implemented correctly. There needs to be more support and coaching for restorative justice practices. We cannot continue with the current methods of approach. They are not working. Another school year is coming to a close. There needs to be a plan for improving school climate before the new school year starts. Thank you.
Seeing none, can I get a motion to enter into closed session? Second. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed, abstain? Motion carries. We will be back at 7 o'clock.
Situada a 13 millas del hospital más cercano, 7 millas del departamento del sheriff, 5 millas del departamento de bomberos y la autopista 4 millas de distancia. Y está completamente rodeada de zonas rurales, desérticas y sin vigilancia. Con las cámaras podremos monitorear las áreas circunstantes, supervisar las actividades de nuestros estudiantes fuera de las aulas, seguir las pistas de las personas que salen y entran en la escuela. Por favor, tengan en cuenta nuestra solicitud, ya que creemos plenamente que con las cámaras nos sería de gran utilidad a nosotros y a los alumnos, ya que lo que les pedimos es que a nosotros dejemos algo para los que vienen, que no pensemos nomás en el pasado, pensemos en el presente y en el futuro. ¿Por qué? Porque así como los de las escuelas primarias van a llegar a la high school, mi hijo ya va a salir, pero quiero que sea para todos. Muchas gracias.
Gracias, señor Pisas. Do we have any written communication? Mari? No, thank you. Moving on to our student trustee report.
Hello? Oh, hello? All right. Okay, good afternoon. All right. So, so at DM, we had our senior award night, which was on Tuesday, May 9, where we recognized our seniors for their academic excellence, as well as just our athletes. And we also had celebrated our Administrative Professionals Day, where we recognized all of our admin and counselors as well. We also had our Commitment Day celebration, where 200 students attended, and we have 75 seniors committing to COD, 38 seniors to CSUSB, 10 seniors to San Marcos, 16 seniors to UCI, and 10 seniors to UCR that we know of so far. We are also, tomorrow we're having our senior grad night trip, so this will be our final trip. I'm excited. And we also, last week we had our senior prom at the Classic Club. It was Hollywood themed. And we also held our spring sports and final year pep rally last week as well. And we've also just been AP testing, and just finals is coming up as well. I think just wrapping up the school year. And I also wanted to congratulate Miss Parati. She was honored on May 8th with ACSA State for the Marcus Foster Award for Excellence in Education. She's in charge of, let's congratulate her. She's in charge of all of our CTE and just career programs like Avid and Puente. And just wanted to thank you for everything you've done at DM. And so the Green Academy was also awarded a CPA program through the California Department of Education. And our TV, film, and aviation completed the documentary for Desert X. And and now, like I said, we've just wrapping up. So we have our CTE SASH ceremonies, the AVID program having their SASH ceremony, and also having a pep rally as well, just to finalize the end of the year and enjoy it as well. Yeah. And that was it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Trustee De La Rosa. Trustee Acuña.
Good evening, everyone. First, congratulations to all our student athletes that were recognized today. I think I noticed that there was a lot of young ladies here, which makes me feel good. The boys are slacking. They got to get up a little bit there on their studies, but no, they congratulations to them. Also wanted to quick congratulations. I know CV High and boys and girls baseball and softball also went into CIF. The girls, after winning the DVL, the boys went a couple of rounds in. Congratulations to both of them, and then congratulations to Coach Celo, who I think coached his last game the other day, and he's been around for a long time. And I want to thank him for all his years of working with our kids and supporting them first as an educator, but now then as a coach once he retired. I'll make it quick. I know Mr. Redondo needs to leave. I just wanted to do one big shout out to everyone who was involved in the mental health event that happened last week. I think it was great for our community. I think the speakers were great. There was a lot of people that showed up. The weather was good, and I think a lot of people got a lot of information in where what we've been talking about here in the district as well, mental health and how we provide resources for all our students, and then obviously into our community as well, because we said before, we can do a lot here, but we need our parents' help. We need their help, and we need their buy-in, and we can't do it without them. They're the first teachers, obviously, as people say. We need their help. As the gentleman who came out here today to give recommendations and from his group, we need their help. We can't do this on our own. Obviously, a lot of the items that come into our schools start in our neighborhoods. And so, but I think that event was a nice little wake-up call to a lot of parents and a lot of people. So I want to thank everybody who was involved with that, and all our staff who were involved, and all our people that were involved in that thing. So that concludes my report.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Garcia? Trustee Arredondo?
I just wanted to say thank you for all the parents that were here today, all the students. Thank you. It's great. There's a lot of good things going on in our schools. I look forward to attending graduations. I just have a couple comments. We had a facilities committee meeting today. A couple of things that are coming forward that are great is the school at in North Shore. The project will be coming forward to the full board. We also have a couple of projects, one at CV High School, and it was just on my mind. We have a few projects coming forward, and looking forward to bringing those to the full board. Exactly, La Familia High School, the expansion there. Looking forward to just seeing that place grow to 250 students and staff. Very, very excited for that expansion. So, and like I said, looking forward to graduations, especially the middle school one, which is all in one day. So looking forward to being there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Trustee Vargas?
Good evening, everybody. Just a couple things. I had the opportunity to attend the curriculum committee. We talked extensively about our graduation requirements. We did a fairly deep dive, I guess, of the data, and just looking where our students are kind of falling short in terms of credits. There's a lot of great discussion, from everyone who attended. And, I think some of the things that, I took away is just having that conversation earlier on, starting to have those conversations now so that we're better prepared to strategize, to find ways to support our students who will be graduating maybe next year. So I think, a lot of great things came out of those conversations. And obviously, I think we're all really concerned. I don't know if concerned is the right word, but we all really want to make sure that we're providing, the support for our students to have the best preparation and be able to graduate, right? So I'm sure those discussions will be coming to the table. The other thing, I did have an opportunity to attend a community meeting that I just wanted to share. It's called the It was a county meeting to discuss an enhanced infrastructure finance district. So there's conversations around, and I'm not going to say I'm an expert now that I attended the meeting, but conversations, I think, around how we can improve infrastructure within our our area, right? Our school district, a lot of it falls within county unincorporated communities. And so, this financing district would be an opportunity to finance maybe some of those projects that because of a lack of funding, we haven't been able to do, right? So through currently established ways of, gathering property taxes, they're proposing to do this financing district. And obviously, I don't know all the details, right? But I think it's really important that our community is engaged in those conversations and participates in those. So I did want to mention it. They will be hosting a number of other meetings in the coming weeks. And just to close off, Feliz Dia de las Madres. I know yesterday was Mother's Day for, is it Mexico, maybe other Latin American countries. And this weekend, folks will be celebrating, Mother's Day. And then I do believe it's Teacher Appreciation Week. So, want to acknowledge our teachers and thank them for their work as well as all of our staff. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gonzalez?
Yeah, just welcome everybody. I wanted to talk a little bit more about North Shore, as Mr. Arredondo and said, myself and him and Joey are on the facilities committee with a full agenda. And I'm excited, after 7-8 years of working on North Shore, we finally we're in the formality of selecting a contractor who was the lowest bidder. It's an exciting time. I think we did delay the project by putting it back out to bid, but a couple things happened in the last 3 months. We were able to save $1 million in the rebid. And on top of that, we were able to more define the technology that was going into that school, being that school was actually designed or went to DSA almost 7 years ago. We were able to better define new technology and avoid change orders or unannounced cost increases. So we're able to do that through the work of Leticia and Mr. Beckham over there. They're doing an amazing job. I think I don't know how they do it. They don't have much of a staff. It's not like they're 10 deep. It's 2-3 people over there, and they're doing a wonderful job. And I think we're reaping the benefits. So I'm excited about North Shore. Mr. Cunha also mentioned that right before COVID, we had walked La Familia, and we're making some pretty significant remodel work there, almost to the tune of $1 million. And I think La Familia is, for many years, has kind of been overlooked. And I'm excited that we're going to be improving the school. It includes questions of security in terms of fencing, and just creating better teaching environments for those kids. And I'm just excited about that. And the gymnasium that I actually used when I was at CV High School is finally being redone, or finally halfway there. And that stuff is being delivered again through the work of Mr. Beckham and Leticia. So that's all I got. I just wanted to kind of update on some of the facilities projects that we have.
Thank you, sir. As far as for me, I think I'd like to start off by first acknowledging and extending our condolences to the family of our former CVUSD graduate, Carla Juarez, who passed away tragically last night. It's always really sad to hear about accidents happening just in general, but it hits more when it's within our community. So very saddened to learn that. I too attended the mental health walk that was hosted in conjunction with Latino Commission and other agencies and stakeholders, which was, I think, in my opinion, very well attended. It was a very good turnout. A lot of important things came out of it, right? Awareness, destigmatization, and resources for mental health within the community. In the next 2 weeks, I will be traveling to Sacramento as a delegate for the California School Boards Association in representation of Coachella Valley. And just a point of context, I don't think Coach CVUSD has had a delegate at CSBA in quite a while, which I was really fortunate enough to be elected through writing as a write-in candidate. It was you? When was that? First time around. There you go. So I'm very happy and honored and honored to represent not only our school district, but our region as a whole. So looking forward to that. Yeah, that concludes my report. Dr. Valentino.
Thank you, President Galarza. Just briefly, to Ms. De La Rosa's point of Ms. Parati, I had the great honor of being there to celebrate along with a lot of the colleagues in the back. It was well deserved, Ms. Parati, so congratulations again. In addition to that, a number of students, thank you to Ms. Gutierrez, were celebrated through Coachella Cabe, and there was an award ceremony for sixth graders and eighth graders who met the criteria for the seal of biliteracy. And so the fact that we're actually moving it down below high school, middle school, and into the elementary school says a lot about the commitment to the process of ensuring biliteracy and multiculturalism in our students. And finally, congratulations to our student athletes. I know there was a question about your certificates. They will be handed to them tomorrow on their campus. They were in my office and I forgot to bring them out, so I apologize for that, but they will be handed to them tomorrow morning. So that's all I have, President Galarza. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Moving on to presentations, LCAP public information update. Oh, yes. Sorry. There was an amendment on the agenda to move action item 10.4, approval of tentative agreement between Coachella Valley Unified School District and the California School Employees Association and its chapter 109 regarding 2022-2023 reopener negotiations. Is there a motion?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Mr. Redondo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 6-0. Oh, trustee De La Rosa, how do you vote?
Aye.
Motion carries 6-0. Our student trustee in favor. Now going back to item number 7.1, LCAP public informational update.
Testing. You're able to hear me okay? Good evening, Board President, Mr. Galarza, board members, Superintendent Dr. Valentino, cabinet members, and attendees both here in person as well as at home. Tonight, I am going to be sharing details pertaining to our LCAP, which is currently in a draft stage. This will be another opportunity for you to obtain a better understanding of our LCAP and the service that we offer. Of course, we welcome your feedback, and for the members that are in attendance here, as well as for those that are viewing from home, you will learn how you can also provide additional feedback at the end of the presentation. We plan to bring a final LCAP version to the June 8th board meeting. The goal for today is to review what we have done to engage our educational partners, highlighting actions and expenditures, as well as proposed changes and additions. You will also be presented with the remaining steps as we make our way towards the final LCAP version. One of the areas that we knew we had to focus on as we continued our work with the LCAP was to improve how it was that we engaged our educational partners. As a result, our team identified multiple ways to connect and provide opportunities for stakeholder engagement. We began by initiating an online survey, which was also available in paper format at each one of our school sites. This survey was open during the month of March, and it allowed for staff, parents, students, and community partners to provide input on our LCAP goals and services. We had over 400 individuals provide input, which included close to 300 individual thoughts and 3,800 ratings, which meant that participants rated comments made by others. For the public forums, our Ed Services team visited the communities of Salton Sea at West Shores High School, Mecca, and Coachella. We were able to engage with those in attendance in person for a general overview of the LCAP, while the attendees then chose breakout rooms to attend in order to learn more about particular goals and the services associated with each. During both the months of March and April, we continue with LCAP advisory meetings as well as committee meetings ran by each one of our Ed Services department leads. As you already know, our 3 goals focus on 1, having safe, positive, and respectful school environments and cultures for all students and staff, preparing students who have the academic, career, and social-emotional skills needed to achieve personal and professional goals when they leave our district, and 3, to increase parent, student, and community member engagement and collaboration. For these next few slides, we will focus on actions as they pertain to each goal. I will not go through each slide. However, I will spend some time highlighting proposed changes and new actions. This is in response to a request to outline what services we have already offered in the past, as well as what new items are being proposed. Our goal is that the way we outline this information will facilitate in understanding our LCAP plan. So as you can see, under Safe and Respectful Schools, goal number 1, you will notice that we are proposing a change in moving academic counselors to goal number 2, as previously it was listed under this section. For district-wide safety protocols 1.2, we have no proposed changes. For goal number 2, which again focuses on the academic, career, and social-emotional skills needed to achieve our students' personal and professional goals, you will see some changes. First of all, this is where we are moving the academic counselors to. We're also removing elementary after-school academic tutoring, which for the past few years, it has been site-funded, and we tend to see this pot of money go underutilized. And we also we made changes to homeschool transportation, including bus monitors. They were added to this particular section. The only changes made to this goal included removing transportation and bus monitors, which you already saw was added to the previous action 2.1. No changes are being proposed under career readiness. And for 2.2C, which focuses on college readiness, we're proposing an at-promise outreach teacher. The purpose of this position is to be able to support at-promise students, which would include foster youth, homeless, and Native Americans, as well as other at-risk students. For 2.2D, these are additional learning support provided to our students beyond base, and so we're not proposing making any changes to this section. Based on our observed need, we have allocated 5 additional teachers to La Familia High School. This will allow for more students to be served and assist with their credit recovery efforts. The top 2 supports that are listed on this particular slide are reflective of ongoing feedback received to support students who are classified as English learners. Both have already been budgeted for in the LCAP, but we have not been able to fill them. The first one was budgeted for in the current 22-23 LCAP, and the second one is one that has been ongoing that we are focusing on filling now. The last section, field program and literacy coaches. We have some school sites at the elementary that are receiving grant funding from RCOE to implement a literacy support program at those school sites. And so we have up until June 2027 to spend the funds for those particular schools. And they were eligible to receive this funding because they have 98% or higher unduplicated students. And so part of the requirement for this grant is that we do hire a literacy coach or a reading specialist. There are no proposed changes to this section. This slide is to show the transparency, especially towards the section in the bottom. These positions were already funded or already had funding allocated to support an increase in technology support in the current 22-23 LCAP, but we had not moved forward with filling them as there were still pending job descriptions. There are no proposed changes to 2.6, which is highly qualified personnel. And then for this last section of goal 3, We have been receiving ongoing feedback about the need to add an interpreter/translator. So this would be a position that we're proposing adding to the new budget that would be reflected in 23-24. We're also proposing adding 2 additional bilingual psychologist technicians because we do have unused funds under other language supports. And this would be one of the ways that we could support that, as our bilingual psychologist technicians work with families when it comes to engaging with them for IEP purposes. The additions added for goal 3.2 are reflective of the feedback that we have been receiving to increase the hours for parent liaisons, as well as to increase parent and community engagement. We have no changes being proposed to this section. Now, the charts that you see here represent our projected district revenue for 23-24. The chart on the left breaks down the source of funding. 92% of our overall district budget is LCFF funds, while the chart on the right breaks down the LCFF funds to show the amount that is considered base and the amount that is considered to be supplemental and concentration. So here you see the remaining LCAP timeline. I'm here today providing information on our LCAP. Again, this is an opportunity for those that are listening at home, as well as those that are here, including our board members, to provide feedback. We will be bringing it back for public hearing on June 8th. And the goal is that we would get it board approved on June the 22nd, as it is due to our COE on July 1st. On the screen, you will notice the email that can be used for additional feedback to be provided. It can be sent to lcap@cvusd.us or by visiting the bit.ly link associated with LCAP comments. So we welcome any additional feedback. Now, as I move into the next 3 slides, I would like to preface it by saying that there is 1 slide per goal. You will notice that there are positions listed for each one. However, I want to be very clear, these positions are currently not part in the draft LCAP plan. We are obviously really taking a close look at our salary increase. We're waiting for the May revise to come our way. And so once we have a better a good understanding of where we are financially, we will be able to look at these needed positions. So we will look at them, we will prioritize. They are based on department reorganizations. And so we just wanted to be transparent about they're not currently there right now, but we know that we have a need for them, and we've begun to identify possible ways that we may move going forward. So here we have in support of goal number 1, CWA coordinator, social emotional crisis counselor, transformational justice. The staff here needs support in that area, in that area as well as in attendance. For goal number 2, we have a few technology positions listed, special education, progress monitoring for students with IEP program, student support services. We would be wanting to bring in student success, teachers on special assignment, and then a budget specialist for state and federal projects. And then for goal number 3, adding additional bilingual psychologist technicians. So even though I mentioned 2 earlier, we would benefit from a total of 7. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you, Ms. Gutierrez.
Thank you.
Any questions from our board members? Go ahead.
Thank you for the presentation. We can read it and understand it for people like me. I did want to ask a question, and I know every year we kind of ask this, but did we get a report yet as to what programs we weren't able to implement based on last year's LCAP, and what monies we didn't spend and how we redirected that kinds of stuff? I know there was some because we couldn't find staff. I remember that's happened in the past, or programs that just didn't come to fruition for whatever reason, whatever disruption was happening during the year or special circumstances that happened. There's always something, but did we get a copy of that so we can share? Because again, inevitably somebody's going to look at it and say, you didn't fund that program. How come you didn't fund it? it'd just be nice to know why we didn't, and I know a lot of it revolves around trying to find staff. That's been a really tough problem lately.
That is part of the ongoing process of as we work on updating our LCAP and we go through the revisions. So a lot of that information is actually included in the actual plan as part of the ongoing progress monitoring that we have to detail. However, I hear what you're saying, and I can see how maybe providing a condensed version, kind of like a summary of what I
Right.
did today, would be beneficial, so we can work on that.
And not only for me, obviously it'd be beneficial. I think it's also beneficial to the community to let them know, like, we fell a little short here, and these are kind of some of the
Right.
reasons we didn't
Right.
abandon
And
some
it
of the
did
things we
happen.
wanted to do, but these are the reasons that we couldn't implement or do certain things.
Yes, okay. And before I leave, I would like to let our audience members know that we do have both the English and the Spanish draft version posted on the website. Thank you.
Ms. Gutierrez, can you just elaborate on at Promise Outreach Teacher? That's
Yes.
what does the outreach component of the outreach teacher entail?
So if you're familiar, I'm going to make a comparison to a current position that we have that we looked at when drafting this particular job description. If you are familiar with our migrant outreach teachers, we have one supporting CV and West Shores, and we have one that CV, West Shores, and La Familia. They have less migrant students, right? And then we have one that specifically focuses for Desert Mirage students. The idea is that this is another individual that works with the students, meets with them regularly. That this is on top of the support they receive from their academic counselor, where they have individualized plans, where so it almost mimics a counselor type of role. However, it's a lot more personalized. So it's on top of. And we find additional ways to engage students. So it's very similar to what we have currently with our migrant outreach teachers.
Okay, so it's not like we're grouping the students during the day and say, hey, this is your teacher, because you're at Promise, she's at Promise teacher.
No, it is an individual that is working directly with students, but not providing instruction.
Perfect.
It's
Okay,
mentoring support.
awesome. Any other questions?
I had a question about the partners that are listed. Are these partnerships that we're establishing, like formal partnerships, or are we partnering with other organizations as well? There's only 3 listed. So
The partners that we have listed are partners that we have engaged in work with already in the past. So for example, One Future Coachella Valley, they partner with us as we identify ways to really encourage and engage our students with everything that entails, with college applications, financial aid, etc. So there is a small fee associated with the services as we partner with them. Read With Me Volunteer, there have been times in the past when we have paid for transportation. And so these are just examples of partners that we have engaged with in the past where we have funded some of the support that we receive.
But it's not limited to these 3, like we have other partnerships. Okay. And then the other question I had, you mentioned the positions and that, we're waiting to hear on the Mabry bias and a couple other, just trying to better understand like finance, if we're able to do it. And this may be a question for Dr. Ellis, but do we have a process where if we identify, let's say there's like critical positions, like critical need positions, that we can try to hire those looking for other funding?
Well, I want to believe, right, that every department probably feels like their positions are a priority over the others.
Yeah.
But we are not going to battle it out. Basically, we do have conversations amongst ourselves about the needs that we have. Some of the needs have already been identified even here, right, through conversations that we've had. And as we have been working to organize our department needs, this is where most of these positions have already been identified as a result of that. So we look at, for example, when I think of student support services, right? And you saw a presentation that they provided last time that we were here, there is a definite need for that department to receive that support. We're aware. The other one is technology and just the amount of work orders and requests that they need to carry their work out. And so I don't know that there's one right answer. It's just really a matter of analyzing our needs and making decisions with everyone at the table to understand why we're making those decisions.
Yeah, I didn't mean to sound like it wasn't a curriculum. The thing that comes to mind is, I mean, just our conversation around credit deficiencies. If there's deficiencies in certain areas, but we don't have the sufficient teachers, then, will they be able to meet those credits? So, but yeah, thank you.
So for example, for the credit deficiency, right, adding the additional staff to La Familia High School will allow us to accept more students into the program there.
Thank you. Mr. Cunha?
I just, one other thing, and I think for the board, it's more for us to remember, some of the staff that's on that list are things that are programs that we have promoted and pushed and funded. So it's unfair for us to say we want all this without, and again, it goes back to critical need versus want kind of a thing. But if we are it's kind of what we complain about Sacramento. They tell us do this, but they don't send any funding. So we don't want to do the same thing. So if these are programs that we feel, the board as a group feels that are important, then again, some of the ones that were on that are based, I think, in part by some of the things that we're asking as well. So we need to also take that into consideration as one of the criterias of, like you said, I asked the same questions. So like, is this absolutely needed? What is this? That kind of stuff. I think that's our job. But again, in looking at some of them, if these are some programs that we're promoting and we're saying this is important to us, then we kind of, need to do our job too and fund it or at least prioritize, as you say.
Trustee Garcia?
I would go even further than that and say that remember that we're getting feedback from our community and stakeholders. So they have highlighted these things as priorities and important things. So we highlight them as a board and then our community tells us what's important as well. So I would hope that these are absolute priorities because we're hearing from our community stakeholders as well. So yeah, I hope to see, in the next draft that these things can be funded because we're hearing the need, right?
Seeing none, thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Gutierrez, pleasure. Moving on to action item educational services. Can I motion to table action item 8.1 requesting approval. All those in favor? Any opposed? Abstain?
Okay, go ahead.
Trustee De La Rosa?
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries 8.1. Action item is tabled for next board meeting. Action item 8.2, requesting approval of Alice Link's assessment to qualify students for state seal of biliteracy for the 2022-23 school year.
So moved.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez,
Second.
second by Ms. Vargas. Any discussions? Seeing none, Trustee De La Rosa?
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Action item 8.3, approval, requesting approval of positive behavior interventions and support, PBIS rewards proposal renewal for Coachella Valley Unified School District proposal number NV hyphen 183057. Any question? Is there a motion?
A motion.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez.
I'll
Is there a
second.
Second by Ms. Garcia. Any questions, concerns, comments? Seeing none. Trustee De La Rosa?
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 5-0. Trustee De La Rosa in favor. Action item 8.4, requesting approval of agreement with Bright Events Rentals for graduation stage rental.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez,
Second.
second by Ms. Garcia. Any questions? Seeing none, Trustee De La Rosa?
Aye.
All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 5-0. Student trustee in favor. Action item 8.5, requesting approval of modification to credits and grading calendar for La Familia High School.
Motion.
Motion by Ms. Garcia, second by Mr. Gonzalez. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 5-0. Student trustee in favor. Action item 8.6, requesting approval of a 3-year contract with Aries Software Inc. for Aries Communications.
A motion.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez, second by Ms. Vargas. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Action item 8.7, requesting approval to purchase technology equipment for new technology staff.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Garcia, second by Mr. Gonzalez. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 5-0. Student trustee in favor. Action item 9.1, authorization to enter into a contract with Knowledge Save Lives for private training for bus drivers, bus monitors, and dispatchers to receive emergency response training.
So move.
Motion by Ms. Garcia, second by Ms. Vargas. Many questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 5-0. Student trustee in favor. Action item 9.2, authorization to approve UTK Phase 1 projects fiscal year 2024-2025.
So move.
Motion by Ms. Garcia,
I'll second.
second by Mr. Gonzalez. Any questions, comments, concerns? Mr. Acuna?
More of a comment, I guess, and I think you guys also might question when I had asked the question, and I think everyone here supports programs like this expanding to our community. My concern is that we're kind of going all out. Do we actually have the students to fill it in? We're still in a declining enrollment, so I'm not sure how that, and I'd like to think that we're going to fill them all up. But it would be a shame to us to go through all this expense and then have empty classrooms because the kids aren't there. And so I just want to make the statement of let's be cautious as we're building this out to, everywhere to the extent. And again, I think we all support these programs for our kids. It's just, are we getting a little ahead on the facilities versus and the staffing versus the actual kids that we have coming in? And again, I remind us that we're still in a declining enrollment. So even though it's declining in the regular school days, I'm not sure that there's those kids that are coming behind them that are going to be able to fill those voids. So just a caution about, not getting too far up there without having the actual students that are going to fill. I mean, we can build stuff, but if there's no students, they're going to be sitting there and, I just would hate us to kind of go down that road. So just a caution more than anything.
Mr. Acuna, how do you recommend that we cautiously move forward? Obviously, as you said, in the spirit of the action tonight,
That's his job.
making a commitment.
That's Dr. Valentino's job.
And then at what point, obviously it is, but
Well,
at what point do we pivot, right?
Well, I think when they start going to the community and seeing if the need is actually there in certain communities, because we may have a bigger need. We see our community, our enrollment is declining, but it's shifting also depending on where the housing is coming. So the need might be more in one school site than the other school site. And that's kind of the things that, you guys look into that trends, and our director for early childhood has to, kind of give recommendations to obviously our assistant soups and then to the superintendent to make sure that there's a need in those areas. Like if we're going to have a lot of housing coming in a certain area, then maybe that's an area that we can target. But if we have an area that has no housing coming in or any new people coming in, it's kind of, why are we kind of going to that extent? Again, it's just a caution. I definitely support these programs. I think they've been a big help to especially our community. And I applaud the governor for pushing it forward. It's just, I do get concerned. It's a lot of money. We're taking money from, different areas, and that's fine, but just a concern.
Go ahead.
So we are using the demographic and enrollment study that all of you approved. And it's been very helpful in beginning to define where our students are and where they will be. So that's something that is being monitored very closely. One of the things that we do know across the state, what your point is very true. And so we have to be very mindful of that as we grow the program, that is actually done in a way that is sustainable over the long term. Did you want to add anything, Ms. Zamudio, or did I state that correctly?
Okay, there's a motion and a second on the floor. Any other comments, concerns, questions? Seeing none, trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries 5-0. Student trustee in favor. Action item number 10.1, second up reading for updated board policy, non-discrimination and employment.
Motion, this would move to the second reading?
This is the second reading, so yes, right, 2 readings. Okay, there's a motion on the floor,
Second.
second by Ms. Vargas. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
all those in favor? Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 5-0. Student trustee in favor. Action item 10.2, second reading for updated board policy 1312.3, uniform complaint procedures.
Motion to adopt the same?
There's a motion by Mr. Gonzalez,
Second.
second by Ms. Garcia. All those in favor? Wait a minute. Trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries 5-0. Student trustee in favor. Action item 10.3. Second updated reading for board policy 1312.4, Williams uniform complaint procedures. Motion by Mr. Gonzalez,
Second.
second by Ms. Garcia. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 5-0. Student trustee in favor. Action item 10.5, approval of reopener sunshine proposal from Coachella Valley Teachers Association to Coachella Valley Unified School District for the 2023-24 contract negotiations.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez,
Second.
second by Ms. Garcia. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 5-0. Student trustee in favor. Action item 10.6, approval of new job description for coordinator, local control and accountability plan.
My motion.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez,
Second.
second by Ms. Garcia. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 5-0. Student trustee in favor. Action item 10.7, approval of new job description for credential specialist.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez,
Second.
second by Ms. Garcia. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 5-0. Student trustee in favor. Action item 10.8, approval of revised job description for behavior specialist.
Motion.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez,
Second.
second by Ms. Garcia. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Action item 10.9, approval of revised job description for public information officer.
My motion.
Motion by Mr. Gonzalez. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Garcia. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Action item 10.10, approval of revised job description for teacher on special assignment, reading specialist and literacy coach. Motion by Mr. Gonzalez,
Second.
second by Ms. Garcia. Ms. Garcia. Any questions, comments, concerns? Seeing none, student trustee,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Action item 10.11, approval of traditional clinical practice agreement for University of Massachusetts Global.
A motion.
Motion by Ms. Vargas,
Second.
second by Ms. Garcia. Any questions, comments, concerns?
I do. I just have a question. Is this a new agreement with the university or is it a renewal? It's a renewal and they've been with us. Okay. Okay, yeah. I could call the question.
There's a motion and a second. Trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries 5-0, student trustee in favor. Consent calendar, all matters listed under the consent calendar are considered by the board to be routine and will be acted upon in one motion. There will be no discussion of these items prior to the time the board considers a motion unless board members or staff request specific items to be discussed and or removed from the consent calendar, in which event the items will be considered separately. The superintendent, assistant superintendent of educational services, assistant superintendent of business and finance, and assistant superintendent of HR recommend the approval of all consent calendar items.
A motion to approve the consent calendar respecting any board member wanting to pull an item and consider separately.
There's a motion on the floor.
Second.
No items being pulled. Awesome. Trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Motion carries. Before we adjourn, I just want to acknowledge that Mr. Arredondo's presence not being here made a difference because nobody wants to make any motions. So,
I feel in his grace.
yeah, you guys stepped up. So all those can I get a motion to adjourn?
Aye.
Motion by Ms.
Sorry.
Vargas, second by
There you
Mr.
go.
Gonzalez. Ahora sí.
Very loud.
Oh, and before we adjourn, and before I take a vote, I'd like to recognize and thank Trustee De La Rosa for her commitment to being here every single board meeting, staying through. And congratulate her and really wish her the best of luck as your in your new endeavors. Sorry, I'm
You gotta make sure. Back wearing your colors, watching. I was telling somebody the other day, there's nothing more cool
Yeah.
than when you come back from school and you go to a football game and you're wearing the uniform.
yeah.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind. Yeah.
So, best of luck and
You guys help.
And Zot.
best of luck and we thank you for all your time. I know that the school district will prepare a very nice appreciation gesture for you. So be expecting that. Yeah, there's a motion and a second. Trustee De La Rosa,
Aye.
there you go. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstain? Meeting adjourned.